Good evening. As we begin tonight's event, we ask that you please silence your phones. And as you film or take pictures of tonight's events, please remember to not block the view of those sitting behind you. For everyone's safety, walkways up and down the bleachers have been marked with yellow and black tape. If you are sitting along these walkways, please keep them clear so people may safely enter and exit the bleachers. Please notice the four exits at the four corners of the gym. In the event of an emergency, evacuation instructions will be given.
moves too much, Liam. The swivel's gotten soft. The swivel's gotten... Alright. So Liam, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to catch them at the door when it opens, and I'm going to walk backwards to there.
we ask that you please silence your phones. And as you film or take pictures of tonight's events, please remember to not block the view of those sitting behind you. For everyone's safety, walkways up and down the bleachers have been marked with yellow and black tape. If you are sitting along these walkways, please keep them clear so people may safely enter and exit the bleachers. Please notice the four exits at the four corners of the gym. In the event of an emergency, evacuation instructions
Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Detail. Halt. Order. Arm. Left. Face. Reason. Colors. Ready. Cut.
Please be seated. It's such an exciting day as we gather here to commemorate our achievements and mark the end of this chapter in our lives. We've worked so hard to reach this point, and now it's time to celebrate. And now to continue, I'd like to introduce the West Carteret High School singers.
ladies and gentlemen, distinguished faculty, our beloved family members holding the phones at just the wrong angle, and of course, the outstanding class of 2025. My name is Juan Daniel Vasquez. Before North Carolina Skills USA State Officer, a Scholastic Leadership Academy Scholar, a Stanford Cardinal, and a proud fellow graduate of the one and only West Carteret High School Class of 2025. I'm glad to be here tonight. It's a beautiful evening we've been waiting for since, let's be honest, since the very first Zoom call where our cameras all mics were muted and maybe two of us were awake. The moments carries our weight of hard work, the warmth of shared memories, and yes, the sobering truth that tax season is now a recurring event in our calendars. Trust me, I cried too. We spent 4 consecutive years together in the same spaces, learning, stressing, and growing. But behind that shared experience, each of us holds something private and unspoken, shaped by challenges no one else can fully see. Some of you discovered the diligence to survive oppression. Some of you had to adjust to big changes. Some of you had to dig deep to find drive to pay your extracurriculars in your routine taking care of your family. Some of you had to choose to work the late night shift after class. Some of you had the moments where you just had to try to make it through the week, all the while praying you didn't forget your practice. I know because I went through it too. It showed us how to deal with setbacks, and that even when things aren't lining up the way we hoped, we still have to stand firm to achieve our objective. From this, I've learned a very vital lesson. Progress means standing tall and moving forward. Because if you've got the drive to make a positive impact, you'll keep pushing. You will be able to complete those extra steps with honorable work and lasting success. And along the way, you'll learn what it truly means to be a leader. Something my band director, Mr. Wright, would firmly say to our marching patrons during rehearsals for the National Chair Blossom Parade would be, and he said it a lot, do you know what the definition of insanity is? It's the act of repeating the same thing, expecting a different outcome every time. So don't be insane, people. I'm honestly surprised he had to pull all his hair out from all the stress he had, because man, he was, Mr. Wright, directly managed to lead us to unparalleled success and deliver what felt like a million-hour lecture in the same 4 sets. It wasn't just hammering music into our heads. He was teaching every single one of us patience, discipline, and how to find meaning in the details. At the heart of it, he was trying to show all of us something much deeper. We get to decide what actions to take to grow. It's easy to blame one. Our misfortunes. Without one kid who would take off the teacher so much that we end up with a pop quiz. But at the end of the day, it's on us. It's on us to be on top of things we can't control. It's on us to give that 110% effort most people don't give so that we can get to where we want to be, where we need to be. Especially when it's like, when no one's watching. And when it would be so much easier to just go and see your phone until you realize it's 3 a.m. and you have probably 3 hours. Yeah, no, it's not. Because if you don't take charge of your life, who will? We've all been through it, tests, tribulations, and through tough times when the Wi-Fi went out and our teachers tried teaching via smoke signal. We've discovered strength in ourselves we didn't know we had. We've learned that life isn't always multiple choice. It's sometimes open up to in our answers in front of us. Occasionally. But look around you. These spaces, this moment, never forget where you came from. Never forget those who believed in you, even when you couldn't believe in yourself. Their love and loyalty are the roots that will keep you steady when life begins to shift. And also never trust project partners who say they'll do their part later. Total liars. Thank you all for letting me speak tonight. Quisiera decir gracias a mi papá, mi hermanitos, mi gente, y México que siempre vive en mí. Congratulations, class of 2025, and may our lives be filled with purpose, passion, and just enough chaos to keep things interesting. God bless.
2025. I am Carolyn Heller, and it is an honor to stand before you today as principal of West Carteret High School. Returning to this school has been a true joy, and I cannot be prouder of this exceptional class. It is my privilege to recognize 4 extraordinary groups of students. The first is the class of 2025 Honors Stole recipients. At this time, we recognize those seniors who have met the requirements for the Carteret County Public School Board of Education Honors Stole. These honors reflect a student's commitment to academic excellence and the successful completion of 32 high school credits. Seniors earning a cumulative GPA of 4.3 or higher receive a white honor stone. Will these students please rise to be recognized? Please remain standing. Students with a GPA of 4.4 or higher, they receive a silver honor stone. Will these students please rise and be recognized? Lastly, students with a GPA of 4.5 or higher, they receive the gold honor stone. Please rise. Next is the Character and Academic Achievement Award winners. It is a great deal of pleasure that we recognize seniors who have earned the Character and Academic Achievement Award. These seniors exemplify a commitment of learning and epitomize the patriot spirit. To earn this award, a student must maintain a 90 average in all courses for a minimum of 1 full year. Graduates who receive this award for all 4 years wear a gold tassel. Will these students please rise? And now, the North Carolina Academic Scholars. At this time, we recognize those seniors who have participated in the North Carolina Academic Scholars Program. These students have successfully completed the required courses for a well-rounded high school education and maintained a cumulative 3.4 unweighted grade point average. For this distinction, a special seal has been placed on their high school diploma. 81 seniors have been identified as North Carolina Scholars for the class of 2025, and their names are listed on the back of the program. At this time, will the North Carolina Scholars please stand and be recognized? Last is the President's Award for Educational Excellence. It gives me great pleasure to honor 24 of this year's seniors who have earned the President's Award of Educational Excellence. These seniors exemplify a commitment to learning. They are graduating with an overall 3.5 or better grade point average while taking a rigorous high school curriculum and earning at least an 85th percentile test score on either the SAT or the ACT. These students are listed on the back of your program and received their certificates earlier. At this time, will the President's Award for Educational Excellence recipients please stand to be recognized. You may continue. Thank you.
Good evening, friends, families, faculty, and the graduating class of 2025. My name is Dylan Livingston Keeter, and I am so proud to stand before you today to celebrate our past successes, while also looking forward to the bright future ahead. Our journey together may be coming to a close, but we are all about to embark on our own adventures full of new people, new places, and new beginnings. It's natural for us to miss what made our high school adventures memorable. I know I'm going to miss my overnight band trips, my adventures to Chick-fil-A with FTA, and my constant visits to Miss Mayo's desk asking her for advice. And for you all, whether it's those 720 SJ meetings in the library, the Friday night lights we all love, or those jittery feelings we get before going on stage for a concert, we are all going to miss what once was. We are all going to miss what feels normal and feels like home. The most important thing moving forward is how we choose to address this change. Think to yourself, what made those moments moments? Was it a feeling of success after winning your game? Was it the sense of joy after helping those in need? Was it the sense of safety you felt being around people who simply understood you? I know for me, I've learned to cherish the power of community. I've met some of my best friends throughout the last 4 years and gained memories that will last a lifetime. Now I want you to ask yourself, how have those moments impacted you? How will these experiences continue to shape you for the rest of your life? My love for community and people is only going to grow as I move forward in life. There will be new people to cherish, new memories to make, and a whole new life to live. I hope you take time to reflect and think about how you have grown as a person, how you will continue to grow from your 4 years at West Carteret High School. Every person in this room has a bright future ahead of you. Every single member of this graduating class has a dream to be successful in what they love. Whether you're months out from boot camp, weeks till college movements, or just days from starting your new job, we have all demonstrated the capability of being successful. I challenge you all to look back and how your high school years have impacted your life, and how they will continue to help you transform into the person you want to be going forward. I don't know about you all, but I am thrilled for us moving on to this next chapter of our lives. While it may seem scary at first to be close to this part of our lives, I'd like to offer a different point of view. Instead of thinking of this moment as a sad ending, let's take this as an opportunity to open the door of opportunities in our life. A chance to evolve into greater people, a chance to take more risks and immerse ourselves further in what life has to offer. The bad news is, life is constantly changing. Those people and activities we love will come and go, whether we're ready for it or not. Those long school days that once felt unbearable will now become mere memories of the past. But the good thing is, life is constantly changing. There's always new places to explore, new people's presence to enjoy, and new versions of ourselves to become. I challenge all my fellow graduates to embrace this change and accept it as the opportunity to progress as people. The opportunity to pursue new life-defining memories, and the opportunity to live life to the fullest. I want to leave you with one overarching message. Cherish the blessing of opportunity. We have all demonstrated the capability of doing something monumental with our lives. We all have the strength, the wit, the determination, and everything else needed to make our dreams come true. I want you to be sad about this chapter being over. I really do. Because that means it meant something to you. More importantly, I want you to be excited about the future. Excited for the opportunities that are coming your way, and excited for where our lives will become. Thank you all for an amazing 4 years. I will forever be proud of what we all have accomplished together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for every single one of us. Thank you.
I'm Jennifer Lavelle, and I am the West Carteret High School 2025-2026 Certified Employee of the Year. But tonight, I'm standing here not just as a staff member or a teacher on this campus, but also as a proud graduate of West Carteret High School. I walked across this very stage exactly 20 years ago. And now, I get to stand here with Miss Carolyn Heller. She was there when I crossed the stage as a student, and she is still standing here. Proof that good women don't age, they just become legends. Miss Heller, thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, and for giving this class a true senior year of celebration filled with heart and tradition. Now, let me be honest. Even standing here tonight, 20 years later, after my own graduation, I am still asking myself, what am I going to do next? And if you're wondering the same thing tonight, that's okay. Life does not hand you a perfect plan. It hands you opportunities, detours, and a few you've got to be moments. And you're going to grow through it all. But here's something I've learned along the way. Dreams are only as powerful as the action behind them. We can talk all day about what we want for the world. More kindness, more justice, more opportunity, more understanding, but none of it matters unless we do something to make it happen. You've probably heard the phrase, actions speak louder than words. I promise you it's not just something that your parents said to get you to clean your room, it's the truth. We don't change the world by wishing it better. We change it by showing up, by doing the work, and by putting our values into motion. And here's the good news. We've already shown that you can do hard things. You wrapped up middle school wearing masks, navigating cohorts, and adapting to hallway traffic patterns that made about as much sense as pineapple on pizza. Then you entered high school in a world still trying to figure itself out. You faced new schedules, new rules, and constant currents of change. And yet, you showed up. You pushed through. And you have made it here to tonight, to your high school graduation. That's resilience. That is grit. That is the kind of strength that will carry you wherever you go. Yes, real life is coming. There will be jobs. There will be responsibilities. There will be taxes, and yes, there will be laundry. But don't let that intimidate you. Let it excite you. Because your future is wide open. It is time to put your dreams into action. Be the person who does not just speak good intentions, but lives them. Take the next right step. Don't just say that you want change. Go make it. Don't just hope for good. Be the good. Don't just talk about justice. Stand for it. And when you're unsure or you're overwhelmed, remember the following. You have already overcome more than most students will ever have to. And you have already proven that you are capable. You are just getting started. So go do something amazing. And hey, call your mom, your dad, or your grandparents. These moments are precious. And the people who got me here tonight want nothing more than to keep sharing them with you. Class of 2025, we are so proud of you. You are courageous, capable, and full of purpose. You are West Carteret patriots. Once a patriot, always a patriot. And now it's time to carry that pride forward into the world. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Love. Now, very close to the presentation of diplomas. As principal, I have the honor handing out students their diplomas and a privileged view of the moment when they graduate from our school. I see them standing in line as they see their classmates in front of them receive their diploma. I see them on the ramp as they listen intently for their name to be called and hope that it is said correctly. I see how their excitement turns to nervousness as they walk across the stage, worrying about tripping on their gown or perhaps wearing anything other than flats. As they reach the stage, they turn to locate the person holding their diploma, and everything slows down for a moment. Their eyes shine with the mixture of relief, with deserved pride, with joy. They start to break into a smile, and as an administrator and educator, I see the effort and growth that it took over the past 4 years to get to this moment. And while as a parent, I see a son or daughter who is now proud of being grown and ready to go out into the world. These graduates who have spent 4 years in the alphabetical lineup next to them matters to them. They may not be best friends or have participated in all the same activities, but I love that our students truly care about their classmates and the person behind them in line. They know that no matter whether school came easily or was a difficult struggle, they deserve to have this moment, this special moment. So parents and family members, when we ask for everyone to hold their applause or their applause, it is not really about a rule or a power-hungry administrator trying to control the event, but rather it's the hope that every one of our guests at graduation can remain silent during the calling of names so each and every student can experience the sacred privilege of being witness to a truly beautiful moment that every student and family deserves. Parents, family, and guests, the class of 2025 has voted on a dignified ceremony. They were asked if they would rather have the applause after each name or to wait until the whole class is done. They have voted on this dignified ceremony, so please hold your applause until the end. Please silently celebrate as your child's name is called. I know you are so very proud of your student and you want them to know how proud you are. But again, please hold your applause until the student's last name is called. And at this time, Amelia will come up and say the names, and we will be giving out diplomas to our 2025 graduates.
Emily Aguilar Hernandez. Javon Carl Anderson. Madeline Zoe Arnold. Nathaniel Douglas Arzamendi. Alyssa Morgan Ashwell. Quinn Robert Atkinson. Michaela Lynn Atwood. Zoe Ann Bailey. Alexander Alexandra Lynn Baker. Aspen J. Baker. Emma Rose Barkey. Joshua John Barrett. Owen Michael Bender. Alex Nikolai Bennett. Josiah Daniel Blackledge. Corey Matthew Bland. Lauren Lydia Bowling. Frances Elizabeth Boone. Matthew Francis Edmund Boyd, Jr. Kane Lawrence Branson. Joshua Ryan Gretzky. Raylan Cerise Briere. Miranda Elizabeth Brooks Gomez. Luke Benjamin Brown. Mark Alexander Bueno. Donovan Dale Bungard. Giovanni Bayan Burdett. Brianna Nicole Bird. Ella Michelle Campbell. Guyon Russell Capehart. Joshua Ryan Carmen. Sean Russell Cartwright. Isabella Maria Casamisi. Skyla Marie Castro. Ella Kate Cavanis. Rachel Annette Chambers. Mallory Kira Claremont. Ashley Ann Clapp. Charles Akers Clark. Aubrey Christine Clark. Stephen Bland Clay. Andrew Scott Coffey. Kendall Lee Cole. Ashley Reed Combs. Kendall Mackenzie Ann Cook. Zoe Marie Crum. Sergio Cupel Hernandez. Ashley Cupel Marquez. Anthony Michael Cuthbert. Madison Elaine Davis. Sawyer Brent Davis. Tyler Gus Davis. Mary Anderson Day. Caroline Ruth Dickinson. Julianne Marie Deers. Jeremiah Alexander Dixon. Kira Ann Duncan. Gabriella Rosemary Enzi. Juan Daniel Estrada Vasquez. Molly Jean Eder. Cody Joseph Ewer. Savannah Marie Evans. Joshua Antonio Figueredo. Kanaya Khalees Fraser. Grayson Clark Fredine. Rebecca Rose Furman. Cesar Gerardo Garcia Lopez. Diego Jose Garcia Vasquez. Mary Elizabeth Garrison. Jocelyn Claire Georgian. Caitlin Claire Georgian. Alea Nicole Gathers. Alyssa Jayana Gathers. Nevaeh Ray Giossi. Stone Gerard. Elizabeth Paige Graham. Logan Connor Graham. Lane Chandler Gray. Sailor Ann Gray. Alistair Cook Gerges. Bentley Alexander Gerganis. Talon Lane Guthrie. Amiraceli Azarel Gutierrez Guerrero. Rory Jane Hagan. Isabel Sandra Gale Paul. Ruth T. Ross Paul. Gavin Ray Harper. Mary Hayden Harrelson. Megan Kate Hurst. Meredith Lynn Hurst. Addison Georgia Hernandez. Salvador Hernandez Garcia. Vanessa Hernandez Lopez. Nehemiah McNeil Hester. Zachary Chase Hill. Kaylin Jeanette Hofer. Carter Anair Holden. Casey Grayson Holden. Christopher Brooks Housen Jr. Liza Jacobs Howard. Destiny Moniz Howell. Samantha Louise Huber. Jeffrey Blake
Hudson. Nathan Asher Hughes. Dalen Austin Hunt. Dang Nyat Hun. Fong Lee Hun. Destiny Laura Ann Jackson. Marion Gray Jenkins. Anna Lisa Johnson. Joshua Lee Johnson. Kaylee Faye Johnson. Tatiana Chanel Johnson. Josiah Jeffrey Jones. Lamont Cordell Jones. Luke Preston Jones. Riley McKay Jones. Isabella Grace Kane. Emily Jordan Kell. Sally Catherine King. Lily Elizabeth Kistler. Hunter Grant Klott. Summer May Knapp. Jacob Andrew Knight. Isaiah Miguel Kraft. Daniel Martin Kropelka. Juliana Nicole Kyle. Willis Judson Langley. Isabella Elaine Laffey. Mary Viola Lawson. Amelia Catherine Lewis. Chloe Margaret Lewis. Caitlin Mary Lewis. Kenaisha Alexandria Lewis. Lucas Dean Robert Lewis. Dylan James Livingston Keeter. Allison Paige Lockheed. Corbin Matthew Logan. Excel Montserrat Lopez Frias. Sean Chance Lovell. Nicholas Young Lavoy. Elijah Isidore Lyons. Jose Santana Magana Jimenez. Caleb Michael Malashevsky. Landon Carter Mann. Camden Corey Barrett. Andrew Banks Mason. Addison Elizabeth McAnulty. McKaylee Autumn McCombs. Kate Lewis McCurry. Chance Manley McCullen. Tenley Eden McDonald. Aiden Michael McKay. Mariel Mendez Lopez. Caleb Zachariah Miller. Madison Ann Miller. Frida Haiti Moreno. Luca Jean Pishota Munoz. Jaquan Alejandro Murray. Robert Allen Merrill Jr. Cutler Steve Newman. Stephen Tyler Nguyen. Ava Nolan. Sarah Joan Norman. Samlin Edward Nowell. Bryson Wesley Odom. Rodrigo Hogan Perez. Cooper Sean Olson. Alexis G. Parker. Ruby Elizabeth Parker. Dominic Luke Paulson. Cameron John Hayden. Jocelyn Yamilev Perez Trejo. Wade Kennan Phillips. William Elijah Poindexter. Madeline Grace Poling. Sadie Rickle Pruitt. Joseph Diego Bradford. Jacqueline Elizabeth Ramirez Durazo. Joshua Esau Ramirez Hernandez. Giancarlo Ramirez Montoya. Mary Frances Ramsey. Isabel Danielle Reyes. Quali Maitorian Reeves. Sanaya Renee Reeves. Frida Sophia Reyes Flores. Braden Logan Reynolds. Winslow Liam Richardson. Jordan Lane Wiggs. Jerry Christopher Riley. Jeanette Rios Cano. Italia Raquel Rivera Perez. Carter Graham Roberts. Ian Christopher Roderick. Thank you. Luis Fernando Rodriguez Ramirez. Maxwell Samuel Rowell. Fedra Maria Rubio Velasquez. Nicholas Austin Rudeau. Kaylee Nicole Russell. Julia Jean Rusamani. Danae Nicole Dahlia Sandifer. Jaden Miguel Sandoval. Quiet, please. Thank you. John Michael Schultz. Nehemiah McCrae Scriven. Junior. Skylar Ann Marie Setzer. Elena Priscilla Sherline. Dylan Edward Shirley. Catherine Elizabeth Siebert. Bailey Elizabeth Simpson. Logan James Sidis. Ryan Daniel Skarweski. Ethan Douglas Skeens. Caitlin Elizabeth Skinner. Brianna Marie Smith. Elizabeth Marie Smith. Lily Mae Smith. Peyton Sloan Smith. Aubrey Ann Snavely. John Dalrymple Snipes III. Jonathan Noah Sparrow. Arthur James Michael Squires. Hubbard Elizabeth Stack. Madeline Lane Steidel. Sophia Claire Stevenson. Jaquan Nasir Stiles. Abigail Lynn Stoll. Noah Garrett Stover. Zoe Lynn Taylor. Aiden Tyler T. Nathaniel Dyson Terrell. Nelly Damaris Torres Montiel. Kaylin Alexis Trujillo. Sophia Elizabeth Yulman. Megan Johnson Barner. Alexandra J. Vasquez. Allison Suzanne Wagner. Gabrielle Grace Walters. Charlie Ray Ward. The third. Drew Everett Warner. Kylie Alexis Worthing. Kathleen Gale West. Lexi Lee Wheeler. Sailor Rose White. Ella Whitney Williams. Hannah Kate Williams. Riley Elizabeth Williams. Emma Ann Wilson. Ayla Smith Wagaman. Jessica Carol Yeager. Clarissa Scarborough Yost.
Marshals, please prepare your graduates of the class of 2025 to rise. Graduates